We are educators. We want to bring the best possible opportunities for our students. We want to take them places. We want to do everything possible to ignite the spark of inspiration. We want to provide the best infrastructure. At the same time, we also want to learn, explore, experience, and grow. But we always encounter one major roadblock: funding. Well, not anymore. In this series, we are going to discover every possible way to arrange funds or to raise capital. Hi, it's Himanshu, and I welcome you to the brand new episode of The Ed Show. Today's episode is going to be super exciting, so keep listening on Apple, Spotify, or on your preferred platform. Welcome back to the brand new episode of The Ed Show. This is the 7th episode of the Ed Invest series, and in today's episode, we are going to discuss everything about equity financing. In today's episode, we will understand what is the meaning and purpose of equity financing, different ways to raise equity finance with examples, and its process. I hope that this episode will give you detailed insight on this concept, and I wish you an engaging and amazing learning experience. In the first episode of this series, we have covered the basics of equity finance and other types of repayable and non-repayable funding opportunities. So if you have not listened to the introduction to funding, which was our first episode, then I suggest you to first listen to that episode and then listen to this episode for better understanding. And during this episode, if you feel stuck, confused, or if you have any kind of questions, then I would suggest you to make a note of them and send me a voice message using Anchor app after this episode. Or if you are listening to this episode on YouTube, then share it in the comment section and I will address all your questions in the Q&A episode. So let's get started. Let's start with the understanding of equity. In investing, equity refers to stock as ownership in a corporation or organization. In finance, equity, which is more commonly referred to as shareholders' equity, actually refers to the amount of capital contributed by the owners. In other way, equity is the difference between a company's total assets and total liabilities, or in a layman language, the amount invested by you and other partners or shareholders while starting your organization or institution in lieu of the percentage shares each of you own is referred to as startup equity. And if your organization is already generating revenue, then the actual worth of your shares are commonly known as the equity, which actually defines the total value of your organization or institution. Equity financing in a layman language is the process of raising capital by selling your shares or equity to the investors. Organizations or private institutions can raise capital for various short-term or long-term goals. The concept of equity finance works same across all types of businesses or industries. And in many cases, raising equity is a lot more easier than raising debts. However, while it sounds easy, it is still tricky. Equity financing occurs when a business gives up a percentage of its ownership to an investor or to investors in exchange of the capital investment. In equity financing model, investors takes a risk by investing in the business, as if your business doesn't do well, then the investor may lose the investment. And the upside is that if the business performs well, then the investor also takes the profit as per the share capital owned by them. Businesses from all industries can raise equity finance, provided they have the potential to grow with the addition of investors' capital. Unlike debt financer, equity investor doesn't look for regular repayments. Rather, they look for events such as business sale or public offering, etc. to capture the profits. And this is one of the reasons that startup ecosystem is mushrooming worldwide. You can practically raise equity financing at any stage, right from the conceptualization stage to scaling up or growth stage. And in many cases, giving investor a seat at the table also brings in various other opportunities that you may not even imagine. As investors also want to see the growth of the organization, and hence they not only invest capital, but in many cases they also invest their expertise and network in the best interest of the organization. Now there are many ways of how you can raise equity financing for your institution or organization other than self-financing or taking capital from family and friends. And today we will discuss about a few common ways, and these are seed funds, angel investment, venture capital fund, crowdfunding, strategic financing, and mezzanine financing. Let us now understand these investment opportunities in detail. Seed funding or seed stage funding is a very early investment which aims at helping a business grow and generates its own capital. It is also referred to as seed money or seed capital. Investors often get equity stake in exchange for the capital invested. The investors can themselves be the founders and use their savings as seed money for their new company, which is also known as bootstrapping. Seed funding usually helps the early stage businesses. And in a simple term, if you have a concept and you wish to start your business, then you can raise pre-seed or seed capital to kickstart your business venture. In case of educational institutions, they can join hands with the seed investors and may help their stakeholders, be it students, teachers, or professors, to kickstart their business ventures with the help of the early stage capital or seed capital. However, for establishing a new institution, seed capital may be generally invested by the founders themselves, or in case of unique concepts, you may also reach out to seed investors. But ideally, seed investors may not be relevant for that, as the investment required in establishing an educational institution will be on the higher side. In fact, will be way higher than the seed investor will be willing to invest. You may choose to raise seed investment through crowdfunding or via corporate seed funds, incubators, accelerators, convertible securities, personal funds, or raising funds via family and friends. In certain cases, you may also approach angel investors or VC firms as well for the seed funding. An angel investor, on the other hand, is often a person who invests in a new or small business venture, providing capital for early stage businesses for expansion. Angel investors are typically individuals who have spare cash available and are looking for higher rate of returns than would be given by more traditional investments. Some angel investors work alone while others operate as a part of a network. The term angels point out to their experience. Many angel investors are current or former business leaders that they want to contribute to businesses that spark their interest. When they sign on to invest, they are often not only giving money but also guidance and valuable advice. Many angel investors also invest in educational institutions, as educational institutions offer considered as high growth but slow moving business ventures. And in many cases, angel investors also understand the minimum risk involved in it and tends to invest in the institution. However, just like seed, you may also use the angel investors or angel network to empower and support the startup ecosystem in your educational institutions. Now, venture capitalists are individuals or firms that manages funds set aside to invest in the businesses. Modern VC firms tend to focus on young, high-growth companies. This type of equity investor differs from friends and family and angel investors in that they are usually only interested in high-value investments, almost always a few $1 million investments or even more. When a venture capital invests in high growth business, the venture capitalist expects to either be a member of the company's management team or sit on its board of directors, thereby taking an active role in the operation of the business. Venture capital usually prefers to invest in the high growth businesses, thus investing in a single institution is something that doesn't excite them. However, if you have a chain of institutions or if you have clear roadmap and growth strategies in place, then you may approach the venture capital firm as well. Strategic investors, on the other hand, are extremely similar to venture capital firms and are sometimes referred to as corporate venture capital. Like the name suggests, the investment made by strategic investors are often strategic in nature, such as getting access to technology important to the firm's initiative or anything which is crucial to the organization. Unlike venture capital firms, the investment size that strategic investor will fund may vary. For example, they could invest a smaller amount of money, let's say $10,000 or $20,000 into something more experimental, or the investment could also be massive. I have already covered crowdfunding in detail in our second episode, which was how to raise donations, and I suggest you to listen to that episode for better understanding on crowdfunding. However, one thing that I would like to share with you is that you can raise crowdfunding by either selling your innovative products or services before its official launch, or you may also choose to raise funds in lieu of the sale of your equity or shares. The concept of crowdfunding gives an opportunity even to the small investors to invest even a tiniest amount of money in lieu of getting few shares or part shares in the business. and hence the capital can be raised with the help of multiple investors who prefer to buy the equity with their small investments. Mezzanine financing, on the other hand, combines both debt and equity financing. In this arrangement, the lender gives you the fund you need, and in return, you promise them a percentage of your business if you default on the loan. If all goes to plan, you will be able to pay the loan back and keep full control of the business. If things go south, they will take an ownership of the business going forward. As you can imagine, this type of arrangement is very popular in situations where the lender sees your venture as high risk venture. It's also a selling point for business owners. If you think an investor is unsure, you can offer them mezzanine arrangement as a means of sweetening the deal. Apart from the mentioned investment opportunities, there are many other ways on how you can raise equity financing. However, these are very common ways of raising capital. If you want me to cover the other ways of raising capital, then let me know and I'll share how other financial arrangements can work in our upcoming episodes. And now that you have understood the following equity financing opportunities, then now it is the time for you to understand its application process. Equity financing can sound like an informal agreement, especially in the case of friends and family investment or self-investment. But you can't approach it that way. In order to raise the equity financing, you will need to do the following. Prepare a well laid out business plan. Do your homework regarding the valuation of your business and your projections for future earnings. And also do your homework about the investors and understand what works best for them in a way that which are their preferred investment areas, their past funding and its size, what type of control they have in the businesses where they have invested in the past. And once you have all your project reports ready and you have selected a best suited investor, then approach them for equity financing. If you wish to learn how to create detailed project report and business plans, then let me know and I'll be happy to create a separate podcast for the same. I'm sure that this episode has given you detailed insight on equity financing, and if you are ready to scale up your business with equity funding or with any other form of repayable and non-repayable funding options, then I wish you a great success. If you have liked this podcast, then do rate us on Apple Podcasts and share it in your network, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to that show. I hope it was a great learning experience for you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then do share a voice message with me on Anchor. Or if you are listening this podcast on YouTube, then share it in the comment section and I will address all your questions in the Q&A session. And I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.